Welcome to She Wrote Plays, new takes on works from a century ago by neglected women playwrights, talented writers whose theatrical contributions have been largely forgotten, but their feminist themes are still resonant today. This series of audio dramas is produced by WTJU and the Department of Drama at the University of Virginia. It's made possible by a UVA faculty research grant for the arts. This season of She Wrote Plays features plays by Alice Gerstenberg, Rachel Crothers, May Miller, Susan Glassbell, and Mary Burrill. Episode number 8, He Said and She Said by Alice Gerstenberg. Alice Gerstenberg was a key player and writer in what was known as the Little Theater movement, which flourished in the U.S. between 1915 and 1925. Primarily a reaction to the commercial theater of the times, which was dominated by melodrama and spectacle, the Little Theater produced realistic and often experimental plays, inspired by the trends of European theater by such playwrights as Ibsen and Chekhov. He Said and She Said was written in 1918 and published in 1921. Though some of Gerstenberg's plays may seem conventional and even conservative in their subject matter and relation to feminism, it must be noted that her plays focus on women's lives, and that the characters are mostly, and often exclusively, women. And they all focus, to one degree or another, on the constraints and unwritten rules that women were expected to live within during those times. He Said and She Said was recorded in front of a live audience at the University of Virginia on April 7th, 2024. The year is 1918. As the curtain rises, we see the living room of a young couple, Enid and Felix Haldeman. Enid is straightening up the room, and we hear the jingling of keys, the door opening, and Felix walks into the room. He kisses Enid affectionately, clearly a daily habit.
Hello, dear.
Felix! I asked Diana and Mrs. Packard over for dinner. You better hurry up and watch a bit.
What? Am I to be the only man again?
Can't help it. Mr. Packard's in Washington, and all of Diana's suitors are in the trenches.
Damn war. Yes, I know I say that about 20 times a day. There must be some old geezers or young cowards left to invite for Diana.
Oh, there are a few leftovers floating around, but Diana doesn't like them. If she can't get the best male company, she prefers female.
She should have married one of the boys before they all went over. She's a peach. Poor Aubrey Lawrence was madly in love with her.
Hurry up. There's soot on your cheek, or something that looks like soot. How did you get soot on your cheek?
I didn't know I had soot on my cheek. Is it soot?
I don't know. It's not my cheek.
Well, if I have to dine with 3 women, I'd better look my best.
Yes, my dear cock of the walk.
Here's the evening paper. We gained 3 miles in Belgium today. If we keep going at this rate, we'll be in Berlin by 1987.
The door opens, and their friend, Mrs. Packard, enters.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Packard.
I'm sorry your maid told me to come right in.
Quite all right. Excuse me.
I'm so glad you could come on such short notice.
I jumped at the invitation. Jumped! It's lonesome with John away. How lucky you are to have your husband at home.
He wanted to enlist, but because of his business, the government prefers him here. Take off your things.
I'm a little early, but I took advantage of the chance to ride this way in Mrs. Morgan's car. Do you like Mrs. Morgan?
Why, yes, don't you?
I don't think you ought to like her.
Why not?
She has a long, bad tongue.
She does talk about people.
Doesn't she? You ought to hear her. No, you ought not to hear her.
Why not? Does she talk about me?
Now, my dear, I've come for a jolly little dinner party, and I'm not going to gossip.
Still, if she said anything about me, I ought to protect myself.
That's just it. That's what I thought. And when she said, "Oh, no, I shouldn't tell you."
Why shouldn't you tell me?
Yes, why shouldn't I? After all, I am one of your best friends, and you ought to know.
Certainly I ought to know.
But you may never forgive me.
Not forgive you for protecting me?
Yes, you're right. That's true. You must protect yourself. It is my duty to tell you.
What is it? You have me quite scared.
And since Mrs. Morgan told me, of course, she'll tell everyone else. By this time, it's all over town.
What have I done?
It isn't what you've done, poor thing. It's about Diana Chesborough.
She's coming tonight.
Is she? You invited her.
Why, yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, of course.
You You poor thing.
But she's one of my best friends.
Is she?
Yes.
Is she?
Isn't she?
We've all wondered why she didn't marry one of the boys before they went off to war.
Why should she have?
She certainly had plenty of chances, and it would have been patriotic after all.
Oh, I don't think patriotism has any...
All nice men, too, and one or two real catches. Don't you think it's strange Diana didn't marry one of them?
Well,
There! Of course you do. Tell me, why do you think she didn't?
I don't know.
Well, what does she say?
I think she...
Exactly. That is what everyone is saying.
What are they saying?
Exactly. And everyone feels so sorry for you.
Sorry for me?
Oh, yes, you get all the sympathy.
What for?
You're with her often, aren't you?
Yes.
You and Diana and your husband?
Felix?
Well, that's what they say.
What do they say?
That Diana and Felix... Oh, of course, I don't believe a word of it.
But in exact words, what do they say?
Has he ever admired Diana in your presence?
Yes, I suppose.
What does he say?
Well, that she's pretty and popular and all the men like her and...
And...
He calls her a peach.
A peach? There you are! Mrs. Morgan told me that Diana refused the other men because... Well, she said because...
Diana enters. She loves to make an entrance.
Oh, Diana, you dear, sweet thing. Good evening.
Hello, Mrs. Packard. And Enid, you old top. I'm exhausted. Canteen work all day. How's everybody?
I've been nursing at the hospital all afternoon.
Isn't Enid a trump, doing the home nursing and releasing someone else to get the glory in Europe? I'd have gone over there myself.
Why didn't you?
Against the law. I have relatives in the trenches.
I'll check on Felix.
My dear Diana, now remember, I'm only trying to protect you.
Protect me.
You're aware of what people are saying about you.
Saying about me?
Of course, they wouldn't say it to you.
What wouldn't they say?
Because it's so much easier to flatter than to say disagreeable things.
People are saying disagreeable things about me?
You haven't heard?
No, what are they saying?
Let me put it this way. Do you really think it's a good idea that you should come to this house?
Why shouldn't I? Enid's one of my best friends.
Is she?
Yes.
Is she?
Isn't she?
After what she said?
What could she have said? She wouldn't say anything against me.
Wouldn't she?
No.
Wouldn't she?
No.
I have eyes and ears, you know.
What did Enid say?
Well, nothing really.
Mrs. Packard.
She only said she wished you had married one of the boys before they went to war.
Oh, that.
So you admit it, and still you come here. That is what people say.
Admit what? People are saying what?
Of course you don't see. Love is always blind.
Who said anything about love?
Oh, I know it's a delicate word to use, open to so many misinterpretations. Yet the world doesn't always approve, does it?
Mrs. Packard, can you tell me simply what this is about?
Felix.
Felix?
And you.
And me?
They do couple your names together.
Who does?
The world, my dear.
They say that Felix and I... Well, that's a lie.
It doesn't make any difference if it's a lie. The point is what people say.
People who would say that have rotten little minds who have nothing else in their lives.
Now, Miss Chesborough.
And people that repeat these lies are just as bad.
Are you insinuating that I am one of those people?
I am.
You have insulted me.
I'm trying to.
Miss Chesborough, I tell you something. In all friendliness of spirit to protect you from the slanders of the world, I was telling you the truth, but people do not thank you for telling them the truth.
I'm the one who knows what the truth is. I know that Enid and I are friends, and that Enid and Felix and I are friends, and that is all. Felix adores Enid. He would never care for any other woman.
Oh, wouldn't he?
Of course not.
Wouldn't he?
Stop that!
Enid just a few moments ago told me herself that she wishes you had married because she knows that Felix is in love with you.
It's not true.
It's not pleasant to argue with you, Miss Chesborough. I shall find my hostess and make my excuses and not stay to dinner.
I just can't allow you to circulate such outrageous...
Felix enters.
Hello, Diana. When did you get here? Want to help me mix the cocktails?
Felix, a terrible thing has happened. They talk about us.
Who is they and who is us?
People are talking about you and me.
Good heavens, why? How about a drop of orange bitters?
You're not taking it seriously.
What is there?
That's just it. What is there? If there really were something, I don't know how to say it to you.
You can say anything to me.
But if what they say is really true...
If what's true? Don't you know if it's true?
I thought I did. But after she said it, I began to wonder.
Wonder what?
You know I love Enid.
Of course. Now that's true.
I wouldn't hurt her for anything.
Then don't.
And do you love her more than anyone else?
Of course, but...
Don't say but!
But why?
Why did you say but?
Did I say but?
Of course you said but. You said of course but.
Can we start over?
You don't think I'm in love with you, do you?
Do they say you're in love with me?
I've never thought. Have you?
I'm not so conceited to think.
But
What but?
are you in love with me?
No.
Why do you say it like that?
Well, if everybody says we're in love,
Do you think they know something that we don't?
they seeing something that we're not seeing ourselves?
Well, that's what they say.
That I'm in love with you.
And that I'm in love with you.
But wouldn't we know?
I would think. Wouldn't we?
No. I mean, yes.
Yes to what?
I don't know.
They say it's true.
And what they say.
Amounts to the same thing.
What can we do?
That's what I'm asking you.
I know. Let's ask Enid.
But Enid believes it.
Nonsense.
She said so.
Enid said so?
No, Mrs. Packard said so.
Mrs. Packard? When did she get involved?
Mrs. Packard said they all know.
But how do they know?
They don't, but they think they do, so it amounts to the same thing.
But Enid can't believe
But
it.
she does believe it.
Absurd.
Mrs. Packard said that Enid said that you said you were in love with me, and that Enid hates me.
No, Enid likes you.
But Mrs. Packard wouldn't dare say anything unless...
Mrs. Packard said Enid hates you?
And perhaps she does.
Which she are you talking about?
Perhaps Enid does. Perhaps she's jealous over nothing at all. Perhaps she's been imagining things. Perhaps she too has been saying things, making it seem as if...
Enid enters, followed by Mrs. Packard.
Diana, Mrs. Packard says you insulted her and that she feels she can't stay for dinner.
I tried to apologize, didn't I?
Ah, so you do admit you insulted me.
Only after you insulted me.
Hear that, Enid? It's just as I said. She accused me of insulting her when I was trying only to be kind and give her a little advice.
Mrs. Packard was repeating things that people are saying, things that aren't true.
Whether they're true or not, it is highly unpleasant for me to have this altercation in my house, and I won't have it.
I can tell by your voice that you're willing to believe that woman.
Enid, I resent being called that woman.
I don't care what you resent. You come in and spoil a beautiful friendship I've had all my life, and I don't care what I called
But
you.
in my house, my guests...
Don't worry. I won't be your guest another moment. I'm going.
No, Diana, I can't let you leave angry.
But I am angry. At you for listening to what that woman said.
I resent you calling me that woman. Anyway, what did I say?
You said that Felix and I are in love with each other.
I never said such a thing in all my life.
Just a few moments ago in this very room.
I never said such a thing in all my life.
Can you look me straight in the eyes and tell me you never said it?
I never said it. Never, never, never.
You told me that everybody was saying...
But what everybody else says isn't what I say.
Didn't you tell me Felix was in love with me?
Enid told me that.
I never told you that.
My dear, you did in this very room a few moments ago.
How can you imagine
I
that?
imagine nothing. You certainly told me that you ought to know all I had heard so you could protect yourself. And I told you in a friendly way, a caring way, trying to be a help, and there we are.
Where are we?
I didn't know I had to protect myself until you insinuated...
Why, it was you who implied that Felix wants to marry her.
I said nothing of the sort.
You said Felix calls her a peach.
Well, yes, but I mean... Felix? Why aren't you saying anything?
Yes, why isn't he?
Felix, say something.
Cocktail, anyone?
Didn't you say to your wife that you wanted to marry Diana?
I never said such a thing in all my life.
Well, of course he has to deny it now. The ethics of a gentleman would make him deny it in order to protect you.
Then nothing we can ever say or do can wipe out the miserable thoughts in your mind.
Not my mind. Everybody's mind. I have nothing to do with it.
Enid, can't you stand up and defend us?
Ah, so you admit you must be defended.
Enid, show her the door and prove that you trust Felix and me, that you know there isn't and never has been anything between us but the most innocent friendship. If you don't do that, you don't trust me.
I've always trusted you. I never had the slightest suspicion, but...
But?
What if the world has been able to see better from a distance?
You know, we wondered that too.
No, we didn't.
Didn't we?
Did we?
Why don't you tell your wife you love her?
I love my wife, but I don't see any reason to make a public statement of it. She knows I love her. Don't you?
Do I?
He adores you.
Of course I do.
But Diana's a peach!
I can't stand this. I leave this house forever. It's the only way to stop it.
Diana, come back!
You see, he doesn't want her to go.
I don't want her to go because I don't want to have an evil tongue like yours triumphant.
I didn't say anything.
You did!
Enid did.
I didn't!
What does it matter how it happened? It's done. I don't care what the world believes, but I want Enid to know I've never had a thought against her. So I'm going to tell the truth now, even though I would rather have died than tell this before.
Now we will hear something.
Diana, be careful. You're under no obligations to...
So you know what she's gonna say.
No! I mean, I don't think I do.
No, he doesn't know. It's my secret. No one else knows. There's only one man I love, or ever have loved, and he's over there.
Why are you pointing to the kitchen?
You love the cook?
I'm pointing to Europe, I think, where the war is. Remember the war?
She's making it up, a likely story.
If you don't believe me, I'll have to tell you his name. Aubrey Lawrence.
Aubrey Lawrence. He did want to marry you.
It's true, but Diana wouldn't.
Why wouldn't you?
Because I did.
You married him?
Yes! I married him the last day before he sailed.
But your family doesn't like him.
That's why I didn't tell them, or tell anybody.
Aubrey Lawrence. Did you really, Diana?
He has no money to speak of.
But he's the finest man I know. I'm awfully glad.
So am I. Diana, please forgive me.
Well, Mrs. Packard, the world outside is waiting to hear the latest news.
I'll go, my dear, because I've offended you and I know you're not ready to forgive me, but I promise not to breathe it to a soul. Not to a soul. Ta-ta!
Oh, yes. Not to a soul.
Diana, I'm very cross with you. Why didn't you tell me that you married Aubrey?
Because I didn't.
You didn't?
But you said...
Oh, what I said. It doesn't matter what I said.
But Mrs. Packard will tell everyone.
of course she will.
And if it's not true,
it might be true.
well, now I don't know whether to believe you or not.
Nor will other people know whether to believe it or not.
But when Aubrey hears of it, what will he think?
He'll wish it were true.
But what will he say about you?
He'll say that I wish it were true.
And do you?
I do.
I understand.
What do you understand?
Diana, have you found out since he left that you really love him?
Yes. Madly.
Shall I cable him that?
I have already.
You haven't.
I have. I'm gonna marry him by proxy.
But when we tell people you married him by proxy after Mrs. Packard has told them you're already married, what will people say?
What people always say. Whatever they want.
Felix,
Yes.
for God's sake, make us a cocktail.
You've been listening to He Said and She Said by Alice Gerstenberg. In this production, Enid was played by Mary Hall, Felix was played by Caden Johnson-Smith, Mrs. Packard was played by Katherine Haynes, and Diana was played by Lilla Woodard. He Said and She Said was adapted and directed by Doug Grissom with sound design by Louis Reining. The recording engineer for all plays is Louis Reining. The executive producer of She Wrote Plays is Nathan Moore, and I'm Mandy Schuker. Music in this episode by Blue Dot Sessions. You can hear all the plays in this series at shewroteplays.org.